Welcome to SFL Pregame Live alongside Robert Garrett Jr. Joining me this afternoon. I'm Cameron Irvine. Mike St. Green is out and off today, and Robert Garrett Jr., the general manager of the Fort Worth Toros and the Cowboy himself at tight end, is with us today. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing fantastic, Cam. Ready to get started and watch these games today.
Oh, yes. It's going to be a fantastic slate, and it starts in Mexico. Mexico City hosts Lone Star. Coming up next, Vegas and Louisiana on the SFL's Twitch channel. Charleston, Jacksonville, Florida, Sioux Falls later. But, Robert, you know both these teams well in your division, but what are you looking forward to in this Glory versus Aztecs matchup?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this game is really going to come down to which quarterback can play the cleanest. And so far this season, Ace Finnick and that passing attack for Lone Star has had it. So the defense for Mexico City's really got to step up and force some turnovers.
How about Louisiana, Las Vegas? We'll have coverage, bonus coverage, and live look-ins on that game throughout the day. Two teams that are struggling. Vegas has lost 3 in a row. Louisiana shockingly 1-4. How do these teams get off the schneid today?
Yeah, these teams have got to come at each other with everything. They've got two quarterbacks who have really been struggling in the turnover area. But Louisiana, Reggie Streeter, and Vegas with Scott Johnson, those running backs have got to step up and play their games.
A pair of 3-2 teams in the South Division, and it starts next. Mexico City and Lone Star after this break. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports. We'll be right back.
Eleven Sports and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
We are halfway home in the 16th season of the Simulation Football League. We begin week 6 south of the border in Mexico City for a divisional matchup between the Lone Star Glorieta Denton, Texas, and the hometown Mexico City Aztecs inside Estadio Azteca, here to start the halfway point of the season. Both of these two teams 3-2. Both of these two teams try to find their footing and make a push towards the playoffs. Hello and a very warm welcome My name is Michael Trillo. Alongside me is Benji Matson. Benji, it's time to separate the pretenders from the contenders.
Good afternoon, Michael. You said it well. Today's going to be a great day. I believe these two teams are contenders. I think this is going to be a slugfest on the field today. These two teams might be 3-2. They might be in the middle of the pack right now. But I know there are a lot of great teams this season in the SFL, two of which are on display today. I expect these two teams to come out trading punches early before we settle into a nicely well-played game today. I cannot wait to see how this one unfolds.
Potential for some high-flying football action as both of these teams put up some gaudy offensive numbers this season. A high point of 41 for Mexico City and a high point of 45 against Florida for Lone Star. We called that game to open up the season, Lone Star against the Storm. And they'll be looking for a similar performance tonight against the former champions in Mexico City as we are just about to get set for kickoff.
Expect to see some fireworks in this game, I think, actually. It might start a little bit slow, but it won't be too long before things start to heat up down here in Mexico.
Mexico City won the toss, elected to defer. Cole Varner has the ball on the tee. He's got his hand in the air, and it's game on for Week 6 of the Simulation Football League season. And just taking a knee in the back of the end zone back there is Deuce Fennick and Lone Star in the all-red strip tonight. I remember playing out of Denton, Texas. We'll begin with the football. Here is their starting offense. Ace Fennick, their quarterback. His brother Deuce Fennick is at wide receiver along with Greg Soto and Dave Axis. Ike McBride and Cameron Collier in the backfield and Adam Williams at tight end. Plenty in the box, and McBride going to run right at the defense and fall forward for 3 yards. Here's the defensive starters for Mexico City. Red helmets, green jerseys, white pants. Defensive line of Dan Tritz, Skylar Kingsley, and Brock Lee. KT Horrell, Ronnie Watson, and Dexter Jackson at linebacker. Hans Hayumi, Jack Napier, and Zaaren Pryor at cornerback. And Jeffrey Daggs and Greg Gaines at safety. After the gain of 3, here's 2nd down and 7. Offset I, fullback handoff Cameron Collier, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and not a yard more.
Two running plays right off the bat by the Lone Star Glory. Two handoffs to their two power backs in the backfield, Ike McBride, Cameron Collier, getting the fast start here today. They're going to be called upon often in this one.
And they have one of the cleanest splits between carries of any running back fullback duo in the SFL. Here's the first pass for Fennick. He's got plenty of time in the backfield to hit Dave Axis out over the middle and pick up a first down out to the 38-yard line.
Great pickup on third down, for the conversion here by Dave Axis. We'll start to see quarterback Ace Fennick distribute this ball all over the field today. He's got a number of playmakers, 3 straight plays, 3 different players receiving the ball here for the Glory.
And they go power I. Here's the handoff to Ike McBride, and McBride falls forward for 1 yard. So the run defense doing its job so far for the Aztecs, but the wide receivers are what you really got to watch out for. Soto, Axis, and Deuce Fennick, all of whom over 250 yards receiving on the season through 5 games. 2nd down and 9. Here's a swing pass out of the backfield to McBride. She runs over one defender and gets close to the line to gain. Stopped a half-yard short. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Ike McBride, the second-year player out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's been a great addition to this team, enjoying a strong sophomore campaign here, displaying some strength on that carry with a great stiff arm. They definitely want to try and get Ike McBride involved in this game plan if they can today.
Flag on the play, free play for the Glory. They'll get a first down either way out to midfield as McBride finds her way through the Mexico City defense. Ike, 300 yards plus on the ground coming into the game, 3 touchdowns and 110 yards through the air. As that penalty is going to be called on Skylar Kingsley, the 3rd-year player at the defensive end position.
Those 3 touchdowns by Ike McBride actually all came in week 1 in that game against Florida that we called, Michael. And I think that could be a point of emphasis. To get close to the goal line in that red zone, try and get Ike McBride more involved.
Gonna get the ball again here and crunch down at the 44-yard line. Jeffrey Daggs, the free safety, steps up and makes the tackle.
And that's secondary for the Aztecs, excuse me, Michael. They're going to be called upon to make sure they are doing a great job of tackling, rallying to the ball in this game against Lone Star Glory, because they're going to want to spread out this defense, so tackling is going to be important today.
Swing pass, space for McBride to work, but she stood up and dropped on the far side. Jack Napier got to her with Ronnie Watson, and it's 3rd down and 6, second 3rd down and long on this drive for Lone Star, who I was about to mention, a little bit of slow and methodical to start this game off.
Yeah, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I think they could turn it on at the push of a button.
We know they can, and they're one of the more explosive offenses in the league. Floated out to the near side. Here's Adam Williams, and he's going to be a half yard short of the 1st down to the 38-yard line.
I wanted to jump in earlier when you were talking about the Glory wide receivers. Adam Williams is, as if Lone Star doesn't have enough weapons, Adam Williams, the tight end, the all-star tight end last season, is another valuable weapon on this Lone Star Glory offense, and I'm sure his name will come up again in play today, but he is a valuable weapon on this offensive side of the ball.
Williams, second in tight end receiving yards a season ago, second only to Mike Daggs, who we'll see in a moment when Mexico City has the ball. McBride, they go for it on 4th and 1, and Ike McBride makes no mistake and picks up a 1st down inside the 35.
Aggressive play call to go for it on 4th down on the road here in Mexico. Great tackle there on that play by Jeffrey Daggs. But strong conversion there for the 1st down.
Six and a half minutes to play. Flare out McBride, and she's going to go nowhere fast. And to continue talking about these wide receivers for the Lone Star Glory, top one is Greg Soto, 523 yards on the season coming into the game and 3 touchdowns. Dave Axis, who we've seen make 1 catch already, also has 3 touchdowns. And they're the only team with 4+ 200-yard receivers, as we mentioned with Adam Williams. 2nd down and 9. Handoff McBride, stood up and dropped by KT Horrell right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
That's going to be one of the toughest things for a defense playing this Glory. When you see a stat like that, they are just so versatile. All their skill positions on the offensive side of the ball. Mexico City, when they're preparing for this game, almost has to just pick their poison during the week when they're game planning.
4 wide on 3rd and 9. Under center goes Fennec against a 3-man rush. Plenty of time to deliver the ball over the middle into double coverage, and Greg Soto bails him out and picks up a 1st down inside the red zone.
Strong catch there by Greg Soto. First reception of the day. We were talking about him earlier as this number 1 receiver so far this season for the Glory, and he shows it on that catch. Tough yards, great catch across the middle by Greg Soto.
We have now passed the halfway point of the 1st quarter. Lone Star controlled the ball from all of it. This is still the opening possession of the game. They've gone from their own 20 now to the Mexico City 19. Williams is once again stood up by Horrell.
Already on this drive, 14 plays by Lone Star. 9 of these plays have gone to Ike McBride. Obviously, the focal point on this opening drive. It's slow and methodical, good pace down the field. So it's a 2nd and 9, but the emphasis on this opening drive is Ike McBride.
McBride up the middle and grabbed and brought down to the 14-yard line. Sets up a 3rd and 5. Jeffrey Daggs once again makes the stop. And I think that will be a one-on-one battle in space to watch, as there's already been 2 tackles made between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. This linebacking core, this secondary, not only do you have to cover these wide receivers and Adam Williams, the tight end, but you're going to have 2 big backs barreling towards you. You got to make sure you wrap up when they come your way.
Offside eye, strong side right. Fennec forced to move in the pocket, fire it out to the fullback, Cameron Collier, and he's going to be a yard short of the 1st down. So now a 4th down upcoming on this drive, and a chance for the Lone Star coaching staff to make a decision here.
They're already aggressive on 1 4th down, lining up to go for it again on the 2nd time on this drive.
Could just be trying to draw Mexico City off sides. 3.5 minutes to go first quarter. Lone Stars control the ball for all of it. We still have not seen the Mexico City offense. And it looks like they will just try and draw Mexico City off sides. They won't get the jump, and we'll call a timeout and kick a field goal. So we will see Hugh Purvis, the kicker for the Glory, attempts almost a field goal-esque try from inside 20 yards.
A chip shot here, if you will, on this 4th down field goal attempt. Great drive by Lone Star. You would have liked to see them be super aggressive and go for that second 4th down there. But I think they're going to settle for the points, which is not a bad decision when you're playing on the road against a tough Mexico City Aztecs team today.
This will be a 26-yard attempt for Purvis. The holder is Jacob Parrott. He holds it well, and the kick is right through there. And good from 26 yards. 3:16 to go. Lone Star leads Mexico City 3-0, as we will now get to see the Aztecs offense coming up next. 17 plays, 69-yard drive results in only a field goal, and you got to consider that almost a win for Mexico City's defense. Purvis kicking off for Lone Star. And it's a short kick fielded at the 15-yard line. And up to the 31. Good starting position for Jason Bartley. All right, so here is the Bronze Bomber himself, the Hall of Famer, quarterback Matt Wilson of the Mexico City Aztecs. In his 11th season, he leads a very talented offensive juggernaut for Mexico City. Running back Phoenix Jones, fullback another legend and Hall of Famer Ray Bentley. I'll get to the rest of the starters after this, but both of those players are on the sideline. 5 wide on first down. The lefty slings it over the middle into the soft zone coverage and picks up 5 yards to Mike Daggs across the middle. To Shelby Calvi across the middle. Here's the rest of the offense. The wide receivers are Nicholas Daggs, Jason Bartley, K.L. Barrett, and Fox Highwind, and Mike Daggs is the tight end, led all tight ends and all receivers, in fact, in receiving yards a season ago. 2nd down and 5. Handoff to Phoenix Jones, and Jones picks up 1, brings up a 3rd and 3.
This matchup that we see on the field right now is going to be one to watch today. We know the Mexico City attack, the running attack, is one of the best in the league. And they're up against the best running defense in the league here in the Glory. Matchup of the day, perhaps, to watch right here.
Again, empty set. 4 wide on 3rd and 3. Wilson quickly over the middle and into the hands of the receiver. 1st down out to midfield, and there is Mr. Throw It to the tight end himself, Mike Daggs. Well, with Mexico City's pedigree, you would have thought that they dominated this matchup, but it is exactly the opposite. In their history, this is the 11th meeting. Lone Star Glory leads it 9-1, and the only win for Mexico City was the first meeting for Mexico City all the way back in Season 6. Wilson with an empty set again goes down the sideline, and it's intercepted. Before I even have a chance to go over the Lone Star Glory defensive starters, Bo Martin Jr. has his 3rd interception of the season.
Bo Martin Jr., new to the Lone Star Glory this season, makes a big play to kill this drive for the Lone Star Glory. Makes a great play on this out route, or on this quarter route. Just steps in front of that ball, picks it off for you. Yes, his 3rd one of the season. 2nd game in a row with an interception for Bodacious Bo Martin Jr., the new Lone Star Glory cornerback.
Mexico tries to go big early, and they get punished. 15th interception already on the season for Matt Wilson, and now the Glory back on offense. Just shy of midfield, Fennick to the weak side right as he hits Soto for 4 yards.
And this could be telling. Mexico City on that first drive looks like they want to shake things up a bit. Perhaps they thought that they were going to try and probe this Lone Star Glory pass defense, knowing that they're so tough against the run. But unfortunately, that turnover brought a quick end to that drive. So now this Aztec defense has to come back out on the field. Already a short field for them, as this ball is already across midfield.
From the 49, from a Twins formation. They run right up the move with McBride, and there goes McBride. And a touchdown-saving tackle made on the back end by Jack Napier. Otherwise, she might have gone all the way.
They call like McBride tough and rumble, which is exactly what happens here on this play. Look at her go. They can't bring her down. Great display of speed, athleticism, and strength there by Ike McBride on that 21-yard carry. Sets up another first down for the Glory.
Clock first quarter inside, 1 minute to go. 7-step drop for Fennick. Gonna throw down the left-hand sideline for Soto. And Soto will rumble out of bounds inside the red zone to the 16-yard line.
Greg
Ace
Soto.
Fennick.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
Ace Fennick has had a first half of the season to remember. Multiple stats in the top 5 of the SFL, including over 1,000 passing yards, on pace for a 2K season and a QBR over 100. Hand off up the middle to Collier, and he will barely move the needle, so it'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, back to Ace Fennick. So much for the sophomore slump. He's playing great at that quarterback spot, delivering the ball across the field with all his weapons, which we're already seeing today. He's getting everyone involved nicely on this second drive.
Offset eye single receiver. It's going to be a pitch to McBride, gets to the 10-yard line, and then stood up by Han Tayumi. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. It's been all Lone Star all the time as they look to extend their lead coming out of the break. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Stay with us. Well, it's been so long since the Aztecs beat the Glory that both of these teams had different names and locations back in Season 6. The Santa Fe Gorillas and the Dallas Law. Here's Juan Bosco coming back for the football. This was Matt Wilson in his rookie season. Of course, we all know what he went on to do. SFL champion, MVP, Hall of Fame, and there's a nice catch by Nick T. Quick in the back of the end zone as well.
He looked pretty good there as a rookie, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and right now it's all of Mexico City's defense to try and avoid going down a couple of scores here. 3rd and 4 from the 10 for Lone Star Glory as they've controlled 9 of the first 11 minutes of possession here. On the road, over the middle, and almost intercepted. Ronnie Watson batted it out of the hands of Soto, and it'll be 4th down and 4 and bring up Hugh Purvis again.
Yeah, great play on defense by Ronnie Watson there. Almost had that interception. Rookie could have made a huge play to win that ball back for the Aztecs there, but nonetheless, still a great play to kill this drive. Forces Lone Star Glory into another field goal attempt.
So Mexico City, I think, consider themselves lucky. They could be down 14-0 right now, but it potentially is only 6-0 as another 26-yard field goal is on the way and good from Hugh Purvis. So it is now 6-0 Lone Star on a 7-play, 43-yard drive. And now Mexico City's going to have to come out and show some consistency on offense to try and get back in this one early. I was surprised, Benji, that they didn't come out and try to run the ball more. They had one sort of stab at it with Phoenix Jones that didn't go anywhere. But when you've got the league leader in rushing touchdowns in your backfield, you'd think you'd use them more, at least early in the game, instead of coming out in 5 wide sets.
Absolutely. We'll see maybe perhaps what the coaching staff has in mind as we see this drive unfold. They've only had the ball one time previously. It's just a short 4-play drive. But you're right, Michael. This Phoenix team is going to, this Mexico City team is going to want to run the ball with Phoenix. This has to be like their first option. They've got tons of playmakers on their side of the ball too. They know they want to run the ball with Phoenix to get him established today early.
He's alone in the backfield. Wilson going to pitch it out to him on the left-hand side. Gets past one defender, gets past 2 defenders, and Phoenix Jones shows off the speed and picks up a 1st down.
And what Mexico City needs to do right now is keep concentrating on moving this ball, moving those chains. Great pickup here on this play by Phoenix, getting him involved out of the backfield here. He's also a capable receiver, one of the league leaders from this halfback spot in the league this season. They definitely want to make it a focal point to get him the ball today too. And maybe that first drive we saw the coaching staff hoping they could catch Lone Star Glory a little bit off guard on that first drive, but this is going to be one of their strengths today, I think, is just trying to pound this ball with these 2 running backs here, Phoenix Jones and fullback Ray Bentley.
Well, they're both in the backfield now with no wideouts, and it's going to be a fullback dive to Bentley, and he gets forward for 1 yard. I didn't get a chance in the first quarter because Lone Star held the ball for so long. Here are the Glory defensive starters. Jukin Rukin, now Luis Hugo Reynosa, and Yogi Barr on the defensive line. Freddie Trammell and Brian Craven, the linebackers. Mickey McGuire and Bo Martin Jr. made the first quarter interception at corner. Evan Lacey, Lincoln Kingseed, and Doug Day at safety. Up the middle, here is Phoenix Jones, and he gets to around midfield. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Lone Star Glory dominated the games thus far, but Mexico City has a great opportunity here already at midfield, only down these 2 field goals. So just 6 points. A touchdown erases that deficit, and right back to square one if you're Lone Star Glory here. So Mexico City has nothing to be impatient about on this drive.
Wilson back to pass with 5 wide receivers. He steps into a throw, and this time finds an open receiver in K.L. Barrett, and Barrett gets down to the Lone Star 25-yard line.
K.L. Barrett, the outstanding veteran wide receiver for Mexico City, making his first reception of the game today. Matt Wilson knew exactly where he was going on this play. K.L. Barrett was wide open. They call him the killer, and he has been killing defenses this season for Mexico City. He's another stud on this team that they want to get the ball to.
Hang that one in a museum. A beautiful back shoulder throw from Wilson, and he's got another one down inside the 10. As racing across on a corner route was Barrett for his 2nd straight catch, and Mexico City are in business.
Yeah, fast-moving action here on this drive. They're getting down on the goal line, looking to his favorite receiver this season, K.L. Barrett, with the 2nd reception right in a row. Great route, and Matt Wilson drops a dime in there, right in the pocket. Lone Star Glory cannot get there. 2 plays in a row to the stud wide receiver, K.L. Barrett, sets them up inside the 10-yard line.
Now we can go to the ground game if you're Mexico City. 2 backs in the backfield. It's Bentley and Jones. It's going to be Bentley up the middle. Phoenix Jones on the deception. They lined him up at fullback, but the running back takes it in for the score.
Phoenix Jones leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Add another one to the tally there for Phoenix Jones and Mexico City. Fantastic drive to counter this Lone Star Glory team and their fast start. 6 plays, 68 yards on that drive with a 6-yard touchdown to Phoenix Jones. His 9th on the season.
He extends his lead on the rushing touchdown leaderboards, that's Phoenix Jones. That confused me, Benji, when they lined Jones up at fullback and then ran him up the middle, and it confused everybody else too because nobody touched him before he reached the end zone.
A little Mexico City magic there.
Ramos Lynn and Matt Wilson, who are co-owners of this team, cooking up a little trickery on their second drive of the ball game. A 6-play, 68-yard drive ending in a 6-yard rushing touchdown. And Mexico City takes the lead, and now Lone Star are going to have to work hard to make sure they don't rue those missed opportunities, because now they're on the defensive, having spent 2 drives down inside the red zone.
Yeah, the offense looked good on that drive. They were getting whatever they wanted to on offense. Things just tightened up when they got into the red zone, which is true, any game in the SFL. So now how do they respond? They need to put together another outstanding drive, a long one here, and put some more points on the board.
And they'll start from the 22-yard line. A teardrop pass over the middle is caught by Soto. And Soto gets his way all the way to midfield before he is finally brought down by Hanta Yumi.
That was a beautiful play to Greg Soto there. Ace Finnick drops his own dime right into the breadbasket of Greg Soto there. Just shot like a cannon there right off the line of scrimmage. It was wide open. Great connection there Greg Soto has with Ace Finnick. Picks up a great first down, and they're at midfield. Now their drive is rolling.
We talked before the game, Benji, about how this could be a slugfest, and I think you're starting to see it come into its own now. Both offenses really putting the pedal to the metal. Here's Ike McBride off the left-hand side for 3 yards. Nice combination tackle by Horrell, along with Dexter Jackson.
43 yards on the ground so far from Ike McBride. 13 touches in the passing and run game for Tough and Rumble. Going to continue to try and feed her the ball. I think it's going to be important, even if this game does become a shootout. Keep her involved.
Off middle and going backwards is McBride this time. Excellent tackle by Dan Tritz as he picks up a TFL number 13 on the season for him. Tritz also leads the league in sacks with 9, so look out for the rookie out of Madison, Wisconsin.
It's going to be only a matter of time before we mention Tritz the Blitz. We just thought it might be on one of his patented sacks, but that was some great run defense he displayed there.
Big slant over the middle, caught by Axis. And it'll set up 4th down and 2 as they'll be 2 yards short. Don't think there's any threat of them going for this one. And William Zuderfeld will come out for the first time tonight to do the punting. Or this afternoon, rather. To receive is Jason Bartley. And Zuderfeld takes the low snap. No pressure on the kick. It's high and short. It's going to bounce inside the 5, and it's going to stay there. Nobody touched it, and it's down to the 2.
Wow. I'd like to see a replay of that one. That was great. That was either a misplaced ball that accidentally stayed in play or some great shuffling there between the defenders, handing that ball back and forth to one another. I couldn't quite see how it happened, but nonetheless, great result for the Glory, and the Aztecs are backed up to the goal line on their 3rd drive of the game.
Yep. Intentional or not, it's got Mexico City backed up in the shadow of their own end zone, but Phoenix Jones wants to change that as he falls forward for 8 yards up to the 11-yard line, averaging up almost 5 yards a carry here in the early going. 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, that was a big hole for Phoenix Jones to run through. And this Lone Star Glory rushing defense, Michael, as you see here on the screen, 41 yards per game on the ground. That leads the league in rush defense. And up against the Mexico City team, it's going to want to run this ball all day long today.
There's Ray Bentley picking up his 2nd carry and getting close to the first down, but not over the line to gain, so it'll be 3rd and 1. Nice tackle on the play by Lewis Pfeiffer. And on 3rd and 1, they're going to come out and run formation, 7 in the box for the Glory. It's going to be up the middle, and it's going to be a first down of Phoenix Jones. And they lined him up at the fullback spot again and used Bentley as a decoy. And I guess if you've got a Hall of Famer, former MVP as your decoy, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Ray Bentley's still involved in the running game, even though he is playing from that fullback spot this season. He has 3 games where he has 12 or more touches, so they like to keep him involved.
This time it is Bentley, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Freddie Trammell made the tackle. Part of the Trammell and Craven Bash brothers duo at linebacker that came over from Vancouver to join the Lone Star Glory when the team was moved from Seattle 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and if they're going to win this game today, I think we'll be calling on their names a lot because it means they've shut down Phoenix Jones and Ray Bentley in this rushing attack.
Wilson takes the high snap, fires it over the middle. Jason Bartley picks up a first down. The second-year player also serves as the kick and punt returner for this Aztecs team.
Jason Bartley's had a unique season so far. He had 1 catch in week 1 and then just disappeared from this Aztec offense until last week when he roared to life. Had a great game last week. Almost all of his production came in that battle last week. 8 receptions, 75 yards, so it's good to get him the ball today.
Up middle, Phoenix Jones breaks his way through a couple of tackles before he's finally wrestled down by Mickey McGuire. And this is the kind of offense from Mexico City that we thought we were going to see going into the game, and why we were so surprised why they came out and just started slinging it in their first offensive possession.
Yeah, now they're back into rhythm, perhaps finding some success with what they're confident doing the most, which is running the ball.
2nd down and 6 from the 29. And here is Phoenix Jones behind Ray Bentley. Brilliant block by Bentley, and it allows Jones to spring forward for a big first down up to the 41.
Yeah, almost broke that one and took it to the house. Mexico City can really start to wear on you with this running game. Here we see a good tackle at the last minute by Bo Martin Jr. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle there by the cornerback for the Lone Star Glory. The last thing they want to do is let Phoenix Jones start getting yardage by the chunk here in this game.
Well, we used to have a block of the game segment, and I think Ray Bentley may have just secured it right there. This time Wilson presses from the backside, but he stays poised in the pocket and finds K.L. Barrett, his favorite target, out past the midfield mark and down to the Lone Star 43.
Great play here by quarterback Matt Wilson. Hangs in the pocket, feeling the pressure by Yogi Barr, but is able to deliver the ball, a strike on the outside to the killer, K.L. Barrett, who's quickly making his mark on this game today. But that's just a well-executed play on offense by Mexico City, dropping back when they knew they needed to make that pass. Matt Wilson to K.L. Barrett. That connection has been the most popular one on the team this season. You know that's who he's looking for when he needs that tough yardage. That was a great play all around by the Aztecs.
Once again, 7 in the box for Lone Star, and nobody out wide for Mexico City. Handoff, Phoenix Jones up the middle, another good block, and another first down to the 31-yard line, an 11-yard scamper for Phoenix Jones right up the gut.
Another tackle by Bo Martin Jr., the cornerback there in this defensive secondary. That just speaks when you see that start to happen. Your quarterbacks, your secondary making these tackles on the running backs. It just means that they're getting good yardage. They're getting past that line of scrimmage with ease, and those linebackers aren't able to fill in there, make those tackles. So that's going to be dangerous if that continues to be the trend for the Glory of this game.
Wilson on first down, floats it out to Bentley. Bentley room to run, and he breaks a tackle and gets up to the first down inside the red zone. And now we've got the 2-minute warning. Mexico City knocking on the door thanks to this man. It's Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer connection that sets up the Aztecs in the red zone. And when we come back, they'll go for points. here in the first half between Mexico City and Lone Star. The Glory started fast, racing out to a 6-0 lead, but Mexico City has hit back here in the second quarter. And they look to extend their 1-point advantage here. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Matt Wilson is going to sling it out to Phoenix Jones. That ball was almost intercepted. Somehow Jones wrestled it away from Mickey McGuire and picked up 8 yards.
That's an incredible play. We can see that one on replay. Mickey McGuire almost had the play of the game, intercepting that ball before it could get to Phoenix Jones, but Jones was able to wrestle that one away, take that one forward for 8 yards. They're lucky that one ended in a completion.
And now inside the 10, into this dual back formation that they've loved so far. A handoff to Phoenix Jones, and this time it's snuffed out by Yogi Barr. Coming up on the SFL halftime report, Cameron Irvine and Robert Garrett Jr. analyze the first half, provide updates on the Louisiana-Las Vegas game, and we'll sit down with Denver cornerback Moose Papanow to find out what it's like playing for the league's top team. It's all coming up on the SFL halftime report. I formation, handoff Phoenix Jones, and he's going to get the first down to the 4-yard line, and Mexico City goes up tempo. Wilson to Phoenix Jones, and he can't come down with it. That was a dangerous pass as Bo Martin Jr., who already has an interception, was lurking. Mexico City 2 plays out of the last 4 where they've been lucky to not have that one picked off, and they're going to get another chance at this.
Yeah, that was a great play by bodacious Bo Martin Jr., the cornerback, and it was aggressive play. He saw that play developing as the receiver was coming out of the backfield and hard charging. He destroyed that play, blew it up, saved it down for Lone Star.
Excuse me, 2nd down and goal from the 4. Wilson to the corner of the end zone. It's tipped and knocked away. It's Bo Martin Jr. again, and Lewis Pfeiffer almost had an interception. That's 3 times in the last 5 plays or so that Lone Star could have come down with a pick, but now it's 3rd and goal.
2 plays in a row, 2 outstanding plays in a row by Bo Martin Jr. there in the defensive secondary for Lone Star. Saves the day again, sets up a 3rd and down. Let's see if perhaps he could do it again.
Trips right, single left for Mexico City. Wilson moves in the pocket, fires a rocket, and it's knocked away. Excellent play by Freddie Trammell to deny the touchdown grab, and it will force Cole Varner into a chip shot field goal.
Yeah, excellent play by Freddie Trammell there in the middle, denying that touchdown catch there. Saves the day. Great stand on the goal line by the Glory. Now going to force Mexico City into their own field goal attempt.
This one will be from about 21 yards. And both of these teams combined now are 1 for 4 in the red zone on touchdowns. Varner with the toe of his right boot puts it up and in, and with 37 seconds left to go in the opening half of play, Mexico City 10, Lone Star Glory 6, a 17-play, 92-yard drive. Remember, they started way back after a wonderful punt by the Glory's William Zuderfeld, but they were able to work out of it. And I believe they matched Lone Star's opening drive for the longest drive of the game by play number. From near the goal line, Deuce Fennick takes it out to the 25-yard line. Let's see what Lone Star Glory can do. They've got 2 timeouts and 33 seconds.
They have 2 timeouts, 33 seconds. They got a stud quarterback and they got a missile. They got a Cuban missile. Greg Soto there on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if we look to see Ace looking for one of these wide receivers, but take a look. Be looking out for Greg Soto.
Twins, but it's going to be a run to McBride, and she is knocked to the ground viciously by Jeffrey Daggs. That's Daggs' 3rd tackle on McBride in this first half. And so I think we see that Lone Star is going to be content to head to the break down by 4. They don't have to snap this ball again, but they will one more time just to try and see if they can get McBride in space. She breaks a tackle, but unfortunately heads out of bounds before she can get up the sideline. We have reached halftime here from Mexico City, the hometown Aztecs. lead the Lone Star Glory 10-6. We're going to head to commercial break, but after that, it's the SFL Halftime Show with Cameron Irvine and Robert Garrett Jr. Stay with us.
Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report, along with Robert Garrett Jr. I am Cameron Irvine, and happy to have you back here in SFL Studios. 10-6, Mexico City leads Lone Star at the half. Robert, lots of offense, but not a lot of points. A lot of bend, but don't break action out there.
Yeah, Lone Star been doing really well driving down the field so far this game, but Mexico City's defense has really stepped in and is able to come up with some really big stops. Ace Finnick, though, playing his best game that he can. Only one incompletion so far for him in this game.
You got the Fort Worth Gold back there behind you at your headquarters. Fort Worth's 4-1. Robert, how do you think the season started for you guys so far? You play later tonight against San Diego.
Yeah, you know, the season started really well for us. Our coaching staffs hit it really hard. That first game, a rough blemish to have, but I'm really excited watching these South Division games get a chance to keep fighting for the division.
Absolutely, and you're not the only team enjoying some early season success. The Denver Nightwings are unbeaten, 5-0, and earlier this week we got a chance to catch up with corner and fellow streamer Matt Papineau, son of Moose Papineau, over in Atlanta, and we got a chance to catch up with him to see what it's like playing for one of the best teams in the SFL. And today we're joined by Denver Nightwings safety Matt Papineau. Matt, how you doing? Happy to have you on the show.
Hey, not too bad. How about you guys?
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
Not too bad.
Oh, let's get right in it, Matt. You're in the league with your dad, Moose Papineau. He plays in Atlanta. And, I gotta know. My dad's in the league, but he's a coach. And he only talks to me when he wins. So the first thing I have is, do you talk to your dad after wins or losses? Or if you play, when you play each other? And what is it like being in the league with your dad?
It is definitely fun. It's a nice little rivalry that we get to have in the house. A little bit of smack talk here and there. both of our teams are real competitive, and we're real competitive in the league. So we smack teams around, and it's fun to trash talk back and forth. But at the end of the day, we hope to see each other, and we always trash talk about what could happen. I like to hold it down in my backfield, and he definitely holds it down in his backfield too. So it's a good competition in the house. Neither of us really have a leg up on each other right now, other than his championship, which I'm coming for this season. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, Matt, that's pretty cool to hear. I'm going up against two of my sons this weekend in Charleston, so that should be a pretty good rivalry there this weekend. So, hey, man, as you know, Denver won the championship season 13. You joined the team in season 14 midway through. The past two seasons, you know, Denver's been basically the best team in the league, going 15-2 through the last season and a half. What's it like, man, being a part of a team and organization where the expectations seem so high season in and season out?
This is a team I definitely never want to leave. Our locker room itself is just, it's great. Like, it's always active. There's never a part of the day where there's not somebody to pop in and talk to, and we're a fiery bunch of guys. So a lot of talking going on in there. I was really excited to join this team. I knew that they were pretty powerhouse from the start. So to be able to come on, I was hyped. Going forward, I'm expecting us to really pull one out this year. I think it's going to be a strong year, not to make any predictions, but I think we have a chip on our shoulder this year after last year. It was a tough end of the season.
Yeah, man, you guys are definitely a team to be reckoned with, you know. And like I said, I don't want to meet you. I don't want Jacksonville to see you guys in the playoffs. So, hey, man, best of luck the rest of the season as far as that goes. But, hey, you know, your defense is a big part of this team. You guys are second in points allowed in the league right now, as well as second in yardage allowed per game. You know, tell us what it's like to be a part of a stout defense like that.
This defense is awesome. Our backfield is dogs. Like, I'm telling you, we eat people. All we want to do is swat that ball down and just hit people hard. So both sides of our ball, though, are incredible. Our offense, we wouldn't be able to hold it down if it wasn't for them either. So they put points up on the board, and as long as we keep points off the board, that's how the games are going to go. We'll pull them out every time.
Oh, yeah, man. You guys are definitely, you know, monsters in the front seven on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And McChesney is a beast as well. And, man, hey, you guys, like I said, best team in the league right now. Hey, don't want to see you anytime soon on the Kings schedule.
I think cannibalism is a crime, Matt. I don't know that.
We're dogs out there.
you would fit well in Eddie Gage's system. He's always pointing out the dogs on his defense. But Matt, you mentioned the locker room. You know, Denver's locker room is very vocal. It's a fun, crazy bunch. Things can get pretty nuts. I know that you guys have some voice chats. They get pretty crazy. You know, is the locker room the, I guess, defining fun part about being on Denver? If not, you know, what is that feature that you just love the most about being on their team?
It is definitely a locker room, 100%. I don't want to go to any other team for that specific reason. The guys that we have in there are the best guys that I think I could have met in the SFL, and I just got blessed to hop right in there immediately. Like, I really just don't think there's any other locker room more active than us that gets along like us. Like, day in and day out, we have each other's back in real life stuff and in the SFL. So I really think we have the best locker room in the SFL.
And you got that Nightwings hoodie too, right? I can see the moon peeking out there. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Well, it's, I mean, one of the most active locker rooms in the league, one of the best teams in the league, won a championship a couple years ago, trying to get back there. Best of luck to you, Matt, and Denver the rest of the season. And we look forward to seeing how the season unfolds and how the playoffs unfold. I think you guys will be there. I don't think you're worried about that, and we'll see what happens from there.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Matt.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Matt.
Of course.
Mike St. Green getting to catch up with Matt and I earlier this week, and that interview was a lot of fun. Denver flying under the radar most seasons, right, Robert? When you're that good, you're not really a story much, but Matt was great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to have some guys to talk about, the environment and things like that, it definitely livens up a team.
For sure. They are a lively bunch. Rosca Santagria with that amazing quote in the in the documentary for the Vultures. That was good stuff. Other action going on in the league, Robert, right now. Ended the first quarter just now. Louisiana up 14-0 on Las Vegas. Boy, the Revolution would love this. They will have won 2 of 3 if they can get this win and get to 2-4. Vegas is trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. What have you seen so far from the Sin City?
Yeah, absolutely. This has been really the Reggie Streeter show so far early on in the game. 11 carries, 40 yards, but a touchdown. And then he also had a big swing pass to score the first touchdown of the game. And they're really just leaning on him and keeping the offense alive. And so far against Vegas, it's worked.
Yeah, controlling the clock, much like Lone Star did early in this game. The difference is Louisiana's up 14, and Lone Star trails by 4. Mexico City 10 and Lone Star 6. We'll send you back out to the second half with Michael Turillo and Benji Matson after these commercial messages. You've been watching the SFL's Halftime Report on 11 Sports.
One half down and 1 to go as we raise the curtain on week 6 of the SFL's 16th season. Alongside Tyler Falk on stats, Benji Matson in the booth with me. I am Michael Turillo. The Mexico City Aztecs have the lead and the football as a short kickoff is taken by Nicholas Gaggs up to the 34-yard line. First half, quick recap. Lone Star Glory started fast, 2 long drives, took advantage of an interception, got inside the red zone twice, but could not convert either time. Had to settle for 2 chip shot field goals, and Mexico City owned the second quarter, scoring 10 straight. And now Matt Wilson and company on the field and try to extend their lead. First play from Scoach is a handoff to Phoenix Jones, and Jones puts on a burst of speed and picks up 11.
Mexico City picking up right where they left off in that first half. Turning around and handing the ball off to Phoenix Jones. Had a strong first half. Getting close to 70 yards in that opening salvo. And I think that Mexico City is going to want to do more of the same in this second half. Continue rushing the ball with Phoenix Jones, Ray Bentley, taking their shots down the field with Cale Barrett. We haven't even mentioned Mike Daggs yet. You know that they're just waiting for the opportunity to strike when they can find him too. So Mexico City wants to start strong in this second half on a good drive here right now.
Wilson with the left hand of lightning fires a first down across midfield. And there's Fox Highwind's first catch of the game. His second season in the league, spent his rookie campaign with the London Knights, and now is part of the fearsome foursome of wide receivers over here in Mexico City.
Scored a touchdown last week in their victory against the Knights. A valuable member of this team, and he could get hot for the Aztecs at any moment.
Wilson this time goes down as nobody was open. Al Lewis gets his 5th sack of the season and pushes Mexico City back to a 2nd and 14.
Al Lewis, the wrecking crew, from his spot there in their defensive line, makes a huge play to set up this 2nd and long. Timely sack when they needed to put some pressure on this Aztec offense, and Al Lewis delivers.
That was the first tackle for loss or sack for either team in the ball game. Wilson comes right back, fires it across the middle to the 40. Nice catch in double coverage for Jason Bartley, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Jason Bartley makes the great catch there, getting some yards back after that sack by Al Lewis. Sets up a 3rd and manageable here, just past midfield, 3rd and 6 for the Aztecs. This might be a good spot to look for your all-star tight end, Mike Daggs.
4 wide plus the tight end. Wilson takes the low snap, fires it over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. Doug Day, haven't talked about him all night long, but he comes up with a big deflection to force the turnover from Mexico City.
Doug Day used to be a linebacker for the Glory, but now playing safety. He thought the same thing we did on that play. Better be looking to see where Mike Daggs was on the field. And sure enough, Matt Wilson tried to find Mike Daggs for that first down conversion there. But Doug Day makes the great play from his spot at strong safety and forces the punt for Mexico City.
First punt of the day for George Amy. He'll be trying to pin Lone Star deep in their own zone. He stands at his own 45. Deuce Fennick back to receive. Amy from near midfield. That's a high kick. It's going to bounce at the 2. And this one, unlike the Lone Star Glory punt from earlier, rolls into the end zone, and Lone Star will start at the 20-yard line. Ace Fennick quietly 13 of 14 in the first half. And the sophomore quarterback putting up some impressive numbers, 104 yards. But still no touchdowns on the day for Lone Star. Offset eye. Fennick floats it to McBride with some room to run, but she cannot get past the first defender. Greg Gaines with a nice tackle on the outside corner.
This Lone Star Glory offense is high octane this season, averaging 30 points per game, which is good for 4th in the SFL, so they're used to scoring points. 2 field goals in the first half, only 6 points coming into this second half. It's uncharacteristic of this Lone Star Glory team. When they can score points in bunches, they're almost unstoppable.
Fullback handoff. Here's Cameron Collier, and he picks up a first down, and he can run with the best of them, even for a fullback, and Lone Star Glory moves the chains. Visit the all-new SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the SFL and its over 1,400 games and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Out the middle goes Ike McBride for a measly 4 yards. And McBride's been very consistent. She's got 45 yards, 11 carries. But nothing big down the field like we saw in that season opening game that we called against Florida. From 2nd down and 6, belt high snap is going to be out of bounds, intended for Greg Soto, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate timing play there. Ace Fennick wanted to go to Soto, but there wasn't enough room on the boundary there to make that play and still keep it in bounds. Does set up a 3rd and 6 for Lone Star Glory after that great defensive stop to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense. They desperately want a conversion here to keep the ball on the field with Ace Fennick.
Fennick's going to have to get it done through the air. Takes a forced tip drop, and that ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Beautiful play by, I believe that was Monty Richmond. or Brock Lee. I couldn't tell between the two, but one of them just batted that ball down with authority.
Yeah, Brock Lee, the defensive end, his third year with the team, only 6'1" on the ground there, so he really got up in the air to knock that one down. Fantastic play by the defensive end, forces the Lone Star Glory punt.
So both teams trade short drives to open up the second half. Fair catch called for and taken by Bartley inside the 30-yard line. And now here's Matt Wilson again.
After that shortened drive, they come right back out on the field. It seems like the momentum is all with this Mexico City offense. They're able to run the ball in chunks with Phoenix Jones, and they did have to get off the field a bit too soon that last drive. Looks like they're going to be able to turn it on here in the second half if they want to.
Wilson moves to his left, goes back across his body and finds the receiver out there at the 41-yard line. And that is Jason Bartley.
And Jason Bartlett's really involved today after, going those few games, actually that 3-game winning streak that Mexico City had in the middle of the season here early on. Jason Bartley was kind of invisible. Just wasn't involved in the offense, but now it's good to see him staying involved. He has 3 catches here on the day for 31 yards. Matt Wilson continuing to go to all of his playmakers here, spreading that ball around. But it's good to see Jason Bartley catching the ball in this game.
Phoenix Jones tries to get through and falls forward for 4 yards. He's up to 70 on the day.
70 yards on the day for Phoenix Jones. That has eclipsed. Mexico City Aztecs have eclipsed Lone Star Glory's average rush defense here today. So 70 yards for Phoenix Jones is unusual for this Lone Star Glory rushing defense.
Aztecs spread it out now. Wilson lobs it over the middle. That pass is caught, first down. Right underneath the coverage as everybody dropped deep. And Nicholas Daggs took advantage of it and picks up a fresh set of downs.
First reception on the day by Nicholas Daggs. Timely reception. What a great time to hop in there and get your first catch of the game. Sets up a 1st and 10 for the Aztecs. And this offense is starting to come to life. Lone Star Glory needs to try and put the clamps on this drive if they can.
Wilson hit as he throws. It's a flutterer out there, but KL Barrett comes down with it. And they're inside the 30-yard line of Lone Star now.
Yeah, going to the opposite field this time. Hit Nicholas Daggs on the right side of the field. Comes right back to KL Barrett, hot target for his 4th reception of the day. Up close to 80 yards for KL Barrett. Just continuing to have a great season. Been up over 100 yards in most of his games this season. Is truly earning that name, the Killer, for Mexico City. Getting close to 100 yards again on the day for him. Matt Wilson has a bunch of targets, and he's finding them all on this drive.
Barrett entered the game with 677 yards on the season. This time it's a pitch out to Phoenix Jones. A lot of work to do for him, and he won't get it done. Just back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. And we've got a game break ready for you, so here's Cam and Irvine at SFL Studios.
Thanks, Michael. Robert, not a good start for Vegas so far, but Nicky Colantrelli jumps this route.
Yeah, Johnny Pickler, perfect. No more steps back and throws the ball to his receiver. Colantrelli steps up in front of it and takes it away. Vegas looking to take advantage.
You can hear Andy Hamilton losing his mind in the studio. Vegas at the red zone, and almost Mexico City is back to Michael.
Thank you, Cam. Las Vegas trying to climb their way back into that tilt with Louisiana. And south of the border here in Mexico City, the Aztecs on the ball now at the 29-yard line, 3rd and 10, and trying to extend their 4-point advantage over the Lone Star Glory in what has been a shockingly low-scoring game. Back to pass Wilson. Hit as he throws again, but again finds KL Barrett in a carbon copy of the previous play. And it's another first down for Mexico City. This time they're inside the red zone.
KL Barrett, I think his fifth reception on the day so far. They're just going to continue to go back to him because he is just getting himself wide open. He's already Matt Wilson's favorite target on the day today. Just has so much confidence in this veteran star wide receiver. And we're going to be calling his name continuously in this game today unless Lone Star Glory can figure out how to just shut the man down. Bo Martin Jr. in spurts today has had some played some great coverage on him and shut him down, had a few opportune stops in that first half. But unless they start doing something different right now, they're just going to keep going to KL Barrett.
Lone Star crowds the line. Phoenix Jones has space to run on the right-hand sideline, and he's going to get close to a first down out of bounds at the 4.
And that's going to be a headache if you're on defense. We're talking about KL Barrett, and they're just going to keep going to him and going to him. He's so wide open. And they come back with a play underneath the Phoenix Jones out of the backfield. Just as capable as a receiver, Phoenix Jones is out of that backfield. 4 receptions on the day already today as he is running the ball.
Second down and inches from inside the 5. I formation handoff. Phoenix Jones, he picks his way through and falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Aztecs. Phoenix Jones has number 2 on the afternoon.
With a little shimmy shake there, Phoenix Jones lets you know he scored again. 2 touchdowns in this game, increases his touchdown total. He is the league leader for rushing touchdowns in the SFL this season. A great drive by Mexico City, 9 plays, 71 yards, accumulating in that Phoenix Jones rushing touchdown. Mexico City starting to put some distance between themselves and the Lone Star glory.
It has been a magnificent comeback for Mexico City from down 6 to now up 10 and potentially 11. They get it done on a 9-play, 71-yard drive. It ends in another touchdown run for Phoenix Jones. 10 on the season for him. Lone Star going to try and find some answers on offense next. Welcome back to Estadio Azteca. Mexico City has a 17-6 lead, and a lot of those yards to get down there have been on the arms and legs of wide receiver KL Barrett.
Yeah, we've mentioned his name a lot today. KL Barrett's having an outstanding season. The veteran wide receiver for the Aztecs is lighting it up this season. 657 receptions all time, approaching 9,000 yards. Scoring a touchdown today, he will move into 6th all-time with 70 touchdowns. He's stuck there on 69 for the moment. The way Mexico City's playing today, wouldn't be surprised if KL Barrett makes it into the end zone.
Well, now Lone Star's on offense, trying to fight back. Here's Ace Fennick. Little pass out in the flat to his brother Deuce Fennick. There's just hasn't been the explosiveness that we have come to expect from this Lone Star offense so far in this game.
Yeah, they've largely been held in check on offense. Ace Fennick was dealing well from his quarterback spot, and he's getting the ball out to his receivers. It just seems like early in that first half, the game plan was get the ball to Ike McBride, but now they find themselves down. The Lone Star Glory are going to have to start passing if they're going to come back in this one today.
For a team that averages 30 points a game, they're not doing much of that, but hold on, here goes Ike McBride, and she's brought down from behind near midfield.
Yeah, fantastic run there by Ike McBride. As we were just talking about getting the ball to these wide receivers, Ike McBride says, hold up one sec. I'll take this one here. 25-yard scamper by Ike McBride gets this Lone Star Glory offense back up towards midfield. That's just what they needed. Perhaps that big play helps spring them, loosen up, lubricate the gears here, if you will, and we'll see what they can do with Ace Finnick coming under center. And they need to continue to go down the field with this ball.
He put 2 Aztec defenders on their backsides on that last run. Now a short pass over the middle for Soto will grab 3 yards. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica team jerseys and customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more that help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the Simulation Football League. I know I love my Sector 6 apparel that I have. I have an SFL thing and a Carolina Skyhawk shirt that I hope to show off at a convention sometime soon. 3rd and 3 after the catch by Soto.
You know, if Lone Star Glory is going to come back in this game, this connection we just saw on the field, Ace Finnick to Greg Soto, has been deadly so far this season for them. When they've needed big plays, they've gone to Greg Soto. Just one of a number of these amazing weapons. But you want to start to see Ace looking a little bit further downfield to try and hit some of his stars.
They go up the middle and not gonna get there is Ike McBride. So a conundrum once again for Lone Star. Do they try and go for it on 4th and 1? And potentially risk falling further behind here? And the answer is no. William Zuderfeld out to punt.
Yeah, great defensive stop, too. Great tackle on that play by Skylar Kingsley, the defensive end, saving that conversion and forcing the punt.
Last time Zuderfeld was on the field, he pinned Mexico City at their own 2-yard line, and this time it's going to be close to that. Oh, and it just falling over the goal line is the gunner down there for Lone Star. Couldn't quite see who that was, but close to pinning Mexico City deep, but they'll start at the 20.
And it looks like he probably tripped over that goal line there. Happens to the best of us.
I formation. Phoenix Jones guarding it, Bentley the fullback. And it's going to be Phoenix Jones up the middle, runs into traffic, and eventually gets pulled down after a gain of only 3 yards. As we check on a running back comparison, McBride and Jones very similar, but they got those 2 rushing touchdowns that separate the 2 offensive backs.
Yeah, just revisiting once again these ground game ranks here. Lone Star Glory's rushing defense really being tested today by Mexico City.
The Aztecs have won the battle on the ground. Ray Bentley, unfortunately, hasn't had that great of a game as he just gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Just about a minute to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 situation like this, if you're Lone Star Glory, of course, you're looking to see where KL Barrett lines up. You also have to be watching where Mike Daggs is as well if he's on the field.
3rd and 7, Wilson alone in the gun. 5 wide, 3 and 2. Left to right. Wilson throws left over behind the defense, and look out, because going down the far sideline is Fox Highwind, and he breaks a tackle and breaks open the ball game. Touchdown, Mexico City.
Touchdown, Fox Highwind. 77-yard strike from Matt Wilson to the new Aztec wide receiver, Fox Highwind. Makes his move to the outside, and he is gone. You can't catch the Fox. Great leaping catch. Turns on the afterburners. I don't think Lone Star Glory was expecting that one on that play. And the Fox burns him.
That's really the first time since the first quarter that Mexico City has tested the corners like that. And of course, the first time they did it, it was picked off by Bo Martin Jr. That time, Mickey McGuire saw the ball go over his head, and Fox Highwind raced all the way in for the touchdown. 77 yards. on the passing touchdown, and it's Fox Highwind's second of the season. And now, Lone Star in dire straits, and are going to have to open up the throttle on offense.
Yeah, Lone Star Glory doesn't have a chance now. They're going to have to put the ball in the air. You know they're capable of it. They're still technically down just 3 scores, which if they can have a great drive here and put the ball in the end zone for a quick touchdown, I think this game's far from over. But they're coming up against it now. They have to start playing some Lone Star Glory football.
Cole Varner puts the ball in the sky and into the back of the end zone. It'll be brought out by Deuce Fennick. Spin move, runs to the left and gets to the 24-yard line. Keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow and subscribe to all the channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. From teams to podcasters, final scores to major highlights, SFL Social has you covered. Covered like the front 7 of Mexico City has bottled up Ike McBride so far tonight. 30 seconds to go. Pump fake Fennick to the far side, complete to Herman Kuhlmeister, the backup tight end, and gets 8 yards and gets out of bounds.
Ace Fennick on the day is about 18 for 21. That's 85% of his passes are being completed. So he's having success in the passing game. He's only thrown for roughly 130 yards, no touchdowns. Hasn't thrown an interception yet. So he's having an okay game today. Not outstanding by Ace Fennick standards, of course. And now the Glory are down, but he's dealing the ball well. You'd like to see him deal that ball well now a little bit farther downfield on this drive.
15 seconds to go in the third quarter. This should be the last play of the third frame. And Ike McBride rumbles forward now, pushes a defender to the ground and gets all the way to the 45.
She ran over a couple people there, She did. 91 yards now on 15 carries. She's approaching 100 yards. This would be her first 100-yard game this season for the Glory if she can get there. We'll see what happens in this fourth quarter.
Scores up in the chat at twitch.tv/FTF next. We head to the fourth quarter. It's Aztecs all over the Glory. Fourth quarter coming up. Stay with us. Back inside Estadio Azteca here in Mexico City. The hometown Aztecs have dominated the middle quarters and have built a 24-6 lead. Lone Star driving to try and close the gap and make a game of it. First down and 10 from the 45. Throw out to the near side. Greg Soto taps the toes and gets away for 7.
You're down several scores in this game. You're approaching midfield. And Lone Star Glory, they won't give up on this running game. And when they throw the ball here, if you're watching bird's eye view, they don't have anyone running deep on that particular play. Everything's middle of the field. I'm not quite sure what they're waiting on. Maybe they're trying to bait Mexico City into do something they shouldn't do right now, but they need to start getting aggressive right now.
Now that's not very aggressive. It's up the middle and stopped at the line of scrimmage. But somebody that has been bottled up today that we didn't expect was Dan Tritz. Leads the league in sacks with 9 as a rookie out of Madison. Went in the first round, pick number 19.
Having a fantastic rookie campaign. 5 sacks against DC in their Aztec victory early this season. Fantastic find for the Aztecs.
Fennec on the run, fires a strike to Soto. Breaks one tackle and it only brought down at the 15-yard line after 2 tacklers brought him down. That is what we've waited to see all game long from Ace Fennec.
Absolutely. That's what you need right now. Receivers cross in the middle of the field. Kind of disrupts that Aztec coverage there, and Soto makes a great play, and it's hard to bring down. He's gunning for that end zone. He wants to get there so bad. Can't quite on that play, but that is exactly what they needed. Now, quick score here, and Lone Star Glory can make this thing really interesting.
From the 15-yard line, on 2 previous trips to the red zone, they've kicked 2 field goals. One-handed catch by Soto, and he gets out for a gain of 3.
Yeah, right back to Soto. He's been the sure hand today. Favorite target by Ace Fennec. You're getting close to the end zone. We haven't even mentioned Adam Williams' name. He's got 1 reception on the day. Your big tight end. You should be looking for him. He's such a presence around the goal line. Standing tall. 6'6", 280-pound tight end in his second year. He's got to be a favorite target of Ace here in the red zone.
Hand off. Ike McBride trying to barrel forward. It is going to be tackled short of the line to gain by 2 yards. Gets up to the 7. That, unfortunately, starts rolling the clock, which we haven't talked about all game, but now it becomes relevant. Down 3 scores, under 10 minutes left.
Absolutely. You don't want to have to think about going for it if it's 4th and 2 here. So you want to get the perfect play called. Pick up this first down at least.
Trips left, single right. Fennec under center. He takes a 3-step drop. He throws over the middle. The ball is batted away. Ronnie Watson, the rookie, also out of Madison. 2nd-round draft pick, knocks that one down.
Yeah, looking for Deuce there across the middle. Pick up that first down, hopefully fall into the end zone. Couldn't get it. Good defense on the goal line again by the Aztecs, forcing their 3rd field goal attempt of the day by Lone Star Glory.
3rd field goal attempt from inside 30 yards. 3 trips to the red zone and 3 field goals for Hugh Purvis as that one is up and good. 8:54 to go in the 4th. Lone Star 9, Mexico City 24. Let's take you through the rest of the schedule for today. Louisiana and Las Vegas is in the 3rd quarter on the SFL's Twitch channel. And we'll get you bonus coverage of that game after this game wraps up. 6:40 p.m. on 11 Sports. Charleston and Jacksonville meet in a massive conference battle. Florida and Sioux Falls, 7:15 on the SFL Twitch page. Then the nightcap on For the Fans. It's Tulsa and DC as the Dragons and Desperados try and pick themselves up off the mat. And on the SFL's Twitch page at 9:20 p.m., San Diego and Fort Worth. As we heard about at halftime, Fort Worth having a great season. They're 4-1. First play from scrimmage is Phoenix Jones, run down from behind after a gain of 3.
Well, if you're Lone Star Glory, you got a lot of pressure on your defense right now. You're looking at an Aztec team that on offense has been able to pretty much do whatever they've wanted to do all game long, and that's been run the ball first. And that's what they're going to want to do now with 8 minutes on the clock.
Here is Phoenix Jones up the middle, first down. approaching 90 yards rushing on the game for Phoenix. And week 6 wraps up next on Sunday, for the fans with fish and chips versus barbecue ribs. It's the unbeaten St. Louis Gladiators against their rival, the London Knights, in a major matchup between two surging franchises. Atlanta and Carolina kicks off later with bonus coverage of Los Angeles and Queen City, and Houston against Denver. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. The SFL on 11 Sports football season is just beginning. And that all goes down tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. with Baltimore and Vancouver. Just shy of the 50-yard line of the Mexico City Aztecs. Second down and 5. Handoff to Phoenix Jones, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle by Brian Craven.
Yeah, good stop there. If you are the Glorious, that's a very important third down. Now you got to be making sure you're manning up here, whatever they're going to come out with on defense, but just make sure your man across from you doesn't beat you on this third down.
Under 7 minutes to go now. Mexico City nursing this 24-9 lead. Matt Wilson over the middle, diving attempt. Incomplete. He threw it over the head of his intended receiver, which was Ray Bentley.
And that's the break you needed. Sorry, Michael. That's the break you needed.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That was the break that Lone Star needed.
Yeah, 6 minutes and change. We know they can score fast, the Glory can. They've got those weapons. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what can happen here. We know that there might be enough time on this clock that if the Glory can get one of those fast scores in, that this game could come down to the wire still.
George Amy gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken by Lone Star. And we've got an update from SFL Studios. Here's Cameron Irvine.
Thanks, Mike. Robert, what a play by Saren Storm here.
Yeah, Earl and Robo made the corner choose between the two of them, and he made the wrong choice. Chase Earl wide open down the field on a corner route, and Louisiana just got the ball back.
It's all Revolution today, 27-3, as Michael mentioned earlier. Bonus coverage coming up. We'll see if Lone Star can complete a comeback. Back to Michael and Benji in Mexico City.
Well, if they're going to complete a comeback, Cam, they're not going to do it like that because Dan Tritz just blew that play up in the backfield. Second down and 12. Lone Star from their own 15. Got to go most of the length of the field here. Down by 2 touchdowns. A wobbler over the middle is knocked away. Nice play by Ronnie Watson, the linebacker in coverage.
Yeah, it does set up a 3rd and 12. I mean, you got to go all in on this down here with the clock running, or not running. I'm sorry, I have the incomplete pass. But if you're Ace and Lone Star, you'd like to line up and spread these guys out. Or bunch it in tight, 2 receivers on the short side of the field.
Here comes the late blitz. It's picked up well, and that leaves a receiver open. Well done to find Dave Axis for a big gain out to the 37-yard line.
Dave Axis has been quiet on the day. Today, only 3 receptions. He's hauled in all 3 of them that have come his way, though, for about 43 yards. And you had to have a play, and Dave Axis, the diva, reels it in there. It's keeping this drive going for the Glory.
22-yard reception by Dave Axis. Like all the Lone Star receivers, has been a little bit quiet today. Now they spread the field out. Twin receivers each side of an under center Ace Fennick. But either going to hand it off to McBride after spreading out the field, and she dives forward for 5 yards. You need more than that with only 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah, play like that. You know, burns half a minute off the clock and it gets you 5 yards. You have to start crunching the numbers here and figure you don't have enough of those plays nor time left in the bank to keep going that direction.
They're going to go to it again, and wrapped up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage is Ike McBride. John Von Unworth gets the tackle for Mexico City, and it's 3rd down and 8, and the clock continues to run now under 5 minutes to go. Big 3rd down here. Fennec past the sticks, and Greg Soto hauls it in. 115 yards for the Cuban Missile in the ball game, and the Lone Star Glory drive survives at midfield.
It's going to be interesting no matter what happens when this game ends today for Lone Star Glory. You can go back and look at this tape. Greg Soto has 10 receptions, but the other receivers on this team, they're just not as involved as you would like them to be. Of course, being down like this, you got to go to whoever's open.
Max protects for Fennec. He finds Soto again on a corner route, picks up 4, and here comes the up-tempo offense that I believe Lone Star should have started this drive in. Throwing it up for grabs, tipped and intercepted. Jeffrey Daggs essentially hammers the nail in the coffin for Lone Star, and Mexico City takes over.
Jeffrey Daggs with the great hands from his free safety spot. His 5th interception of the season. Great hands to reel that one in. Timely play by the Aztecs on defense, and that one might shut the door for the Glory today as now the Aztec offense comes back on the field.
As you said, 5th pick of the season for Jeffrey Daggs. He leads the team in that mark. Closest one to him is Jack the Joker Napier with 2. And now it's going to be the Ray Bentley and Phoenix Jones show for the last 4 minutes and change. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No prior experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. Handoff Jones, tackled and falls forward for a gain of 3. So of all the games, Benji, they're coming up either today or tomorrow, excluding London St. Louis, because I know you have a vested interest in that one. Which game are you looking forward to, and which game, if people are on the fence about tuning in for one, would you pick?
3rd and 6. Ball at the 42-yard line.
We'll hear from Benji in a moment. On 3rd down and 7. See if Wilson decides to throw. No, he hands it off. Flag on the play. Phoenix Jones does pick up the 1st down, but we'll have to check the penalty marker.
Holding number 66. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
Little holding call there on the Aztecs, sets them back a little bit. They haven't shot themselves in the foot very often today. They've played great on the offensive side of the ball. That holding penalty aside. But time might be too short now for the Lone Star Glory to take advantage of a play like that. But they do have a 3rd and 17 here they're going to be defending. Be looking for K.L. Barrett on the field. Put 2 men on him on this play.
Well, he is alone on the left-hand side. Wilson going to look over the middle, and it's going to be caught. 1st down. Nicholas Daggs, the other Daggs brother, gets in on the action. And that certainly, oh no, did they say he made that catch, or did he drop that ball?
Looks like they might be calling this one incomplete. Good hit perhaps there, put on Daggs at the last minute by Evan Lacey. The free safety jars that one loose. Yep, indeed, sets up a 4th and 17. So great job on coverage there by Evan Lacey in the backfield to force this Aztec punt.
In a closer game than this, I would probably challenge that if I was Ramos Lynn, because he looked like he had a catch and then forward progress. But either way, it's going to be Lone Star ball, 2:52 to go. So I'll ask my previous question again. which game this weekend, barring St. Louis, London, because I know you have a vested interest in that one, are you looking forward to watching, and who should the fans tune in to see this weekend?
Sure, I'm going off script perhaps a little bit. There's gonna be lots of great games this weekend, of course, lots of great SFL action. But I'm kind of circling this Arizona Scorpions Portland game. Coach Eddie Gage and Scorpions always a deadly team, and their record might not be reflective of how truly good they are this season.
Another knockdown for Dexter Jackson. Man, he has been all over the place from his outside linebacker position, especially in the second half.
Yeah, good defense by Aztecs all game long, which is another reason why I'll be interested in that Arizona-Portland game. I think there'll be some good defense played there. But a game like today, Mexico City's defense putting the clamps on Lone Star Glory, it's been pretty impressive.
Second down and 10, just under 3 minutes to go. Fennec on the run, throws a dart, first down. That's the second time we've seen Ace Fennec scramble and hit a receiver over the middle, and it's been Dave Axis both times.
Athletic play by Ace Fennec there.
Fennec, floater for Deuce Fennec, who slides down inbounds, makes the catch. Up-tempo offense coming out for Lone Star Glory. Fennec, pressure from the backside, hits his throw, the pass goes up in the air, and it eventually hits the turf. Jeffrey Daggs almost had another interception as the ball was tipped by Watson.
Look, all the Aztecs were told to guard Dave Axis on that play. They were having a meeting there in the middle of the field. Lucky that that ball's not intercepted for Ace Fennec. Does set up a 3rd and 4, though, just outside the 2-minute warning. Time is of essence now for the Lone Star Glory.
They're in a position now where if they manage to get a touchdown here, they're going to have to go with the onside kick most likely. Fennec over the middle, broken up. Fantastic diving play. Ronnie Watson again. He has been the defensive MVP in my eyes for Mexico City. So many pass breakups and knockdowns, and he forces a 4th down and 4.
Yeah. The rookie, Ronnie Watson, he's playing out of his mind today. I believe that's his 4th defensed pass on the afternoon by the rookie linebacker.
This is the 2nd week in a row I've called an impressive performance by a rookie linebacker going for it on 4th down, and there's Adam Williams. A lot too little too late for Adam Williams as he makes the catch and moves the chains on 4th down. Do they get a play off before the 2-minute warning? They will not. Fresh set of downs for Lone Stars. They try to salvage something from this contest, and a week come back to the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Mexico City leads Lone Star 24-9. The Glory trying to make a game of it late here. 1st and 10 at the Mexico City 26. Ace Fennick over the middle into double coverage and grabbed by Greg Soto down to the 10-yard line. And here's where Lone Star has struggled tonight. 3 trips to the red zone, 3 field goals. Fennick throws it out to McBride on a check down as he was scrambling all over the place trying to get away from the rush. And it'll be...
there was just no one open in the secondary there. Great defense on the goal line by the Aztecs. Things just tighten up when you're in the red zone there, getting close to that goal line. It's just so difficult. Aztecs played great defense there. Excellent coverage in the secondary, and Ace had to scramble, try and get what he could out of that play.
Single receiver each side of 2 backs now. Fennick to the corner, and stepping out of bounds at the 3 is Dave Axis.
Dave Axis wide open there on the top of the screen, makes a nice grab and gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Lone Star Glory's put together a good drive here when they needed to at the end of the game. See if they can punch it in for a touchdown here. Give themselves a little bit of life.
They're gonna have 2 shots at it. Fennick throws it short and dropped by Dave Axis. And now it's gonna be 4th and goal.
Dave Axis coming across the middle. That play was just well read by the Aztec defense. I believe this secondary or the safety key might made a great play on the ball. Just saw that one coming, read quarterback Ace Fennick's eyes, and jumped on the ball, made a great play, set up this 4th down.
Game rides on this one. Fennick floats it back in the end zone, tipped away, and the ball game is over, and it was tipped by Dexter Jackson. Mexico City will take over and can kneel the game away.
One of the stories of this game, when it is said and done, is that Lone Star Glory had their opportunities. 4 trips into the red zone, resulting in 3 field goals and this missed opportunity on the goal line to convert for a touchdown. That Aztec defense, that bend but don't break. Fantastic performance today as they led their team to victory here.
Correction on that last play, it was Jeffrey Daggs who knocked the ball away, not Dexter Jackson. Lone Star Glory will use the first of their 2 timeouts, but a 1st down here will, I believe, let Mexico City start kneeling. And what we didn't see today from Lone Star is defensive touchdowns.
3 this season by 3 different players, and only Louisiana Revolution has 3 different defenders with a touchdown. That's been one of the stories early in this first half of the season for the Glories. Converting those turnovers into touchdowns, it's helped them win their games early in this season.
I think it's timeout called by Lone Star. I know Mickey McGuire has a touchdown, Evan Lacey has a touchdown, and Doug Day has a touchdown. All of those pick sixes.
Yeah, and the pick 6, turnover for a touchdown on defense is a fantastic way to lift up, prop up that offense, give your team a boost. They're amazing plays when they happen in the SFL. Lone Star Glory has been able to capitalize on that with their defense this year.
Off middle, and a 1st down for Phoenix Jones, and that'll do it.
The Aztec defense played great today. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Phoenix Jones over 100 yards on the ground, 22 carries. He's been the bell cow for the Aztecs today. 28 points per game. The Aztec offense has been averaging. It was good for 6th in the SFL. They didn't quite get there today. But it was a hard-fought game against a tough Lone Star Glory team in Mexico City. The Aztecs have done what they needed to do on offense to take the victory home today. And I'm sure they are glad to be at home. This is only their 2nd home game of the year for the Aztecs. We're going to improve to 2-0 at home.
Reminder, after this, we'll be sending you out to bonus coverage of Louisiana, Las Vegas. Then it's the SFL postgame show where Cameron Irvine and Robert Garrett Jr. will break down Lone Star and Mexico City, and we'll preview what's coming up next on 11 Sports. It's all coming up on the SFL post-game updates. Up next, it is DC at home for Lone Star as Glory battle the Dragons. And this is the start of a 3-game homestand for the Aztecs. They host the Tulsa Desperados next week.
These two teams 3-2 today coming into this. There's a whole bunch of teams sitting in the middle of the standings here in the SFL with similar records: 3-2, 4-2, about to be 3-3. Both these two teams are quality teams. We're going to be in it at the end. So I think each one of these games is going to be important. This is an excellent victory today by the Aztecs.
Mexico City gets it done. Final score 24-9. And it was a little bit of early Lone Star Glory control, but then it was Aztec domination for the final 3 quarters. Final stats and highlights on your screen. Benji Matson, take it away.
Yeah, team comparisons, these numbers look relatively the same. These two teams look on paper or in stats look almost identical here. We saw Lone Star Glory really struggle on the road here in Mexico City. On offense, they just weren't able to get things going like the Lone Star Glory are used to. They did get a great running game out of Ike McBride today, almost 100 yards on the ground, some big runs. Always a great sign when you can have success on the road with the running game. But then Ace Finnick and team on offense, they just couldn't get the passing game on track today. And I think the Aztec defense had everything to do with it today. Big play on offense here by Fox Highwind, kind of put the game out of reach in the second half for the Aztecs. But they controlled the tempo of this game with Phoenix Jones and Ray Bentley out of the backfield, getting the ball to KL Barrett, who had an awesome game today when need be, and Matt Wilson played excellent at his quarterback spot. It all came together to make a great victory today for the Aztecs. Offensively, defensively, special teams, all 3 phases played well today for Mexico City at home to lead their squad to 4-2.
Now the biggest stat for Lone Star, 4 trips to the red zone and nada. 3 field goals and a turnover. And your player of the game is going to be Phoenix Jones, 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 34 yards through the air. That'll do it for us. For Tyler Falk on stats, Kevin Irvine and Robert Garrett Jr. in the studio, and my partner Benji Matson, I am Michael Turillo. Now we send it out to bonus coverage of Las Vegas and Louisiana. We'll join Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudicelli on the call. Take it away, gentlemen.
15 yards. So that tells you how well the secondary has been playing for this Louisiana Revolution ball team.
Fury do employ 2 tight ends, neither of which have a catch. Only 1 target for the 2 of them today. Deep ball caught. Oh, he's off to the races. We'll see you later, John Blades. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Just like that, they strike.
That's what we said the whole game. They needed to take the top off of that defense, and unfortunately they do it with less than 4 minutes to go in the game. But one of those, UC Blades finally gets behind the secondary and just goes untouched to the house. You saw a big catch and run there. So it gives the Las Vegas Fury at least something positive to go in this ball game. Makes it 30-9.
We welcome those of you who watched Mexico City defeat the Lone Star Glory 24-9 at Estadio Azteca. We welcome you here to Las Vegas, where Louisiana has been in control of this game 30 to really 3 for a fair portion of this second half. And Las Vegas, just as you potentially tuned in, getting a big score down the field on Louisiana's backup unit, which we're coming in to get some experience. And for Gerald Giudicelli, I'm Andy Hamilton. Our stats team is Dwayne Schindler along with Robert Johnson. And we got 3 minutes left, and I think Gerald, Las Vegas is definitely going to throw everything they have at the wall.
Definitely got to throw the kitchen sink right now. They have to gamble, no pun intended here, to get the onside kick.
Onside kick recovered there by Louisiana. Tank Bennett actually hauls it in at the 41, and with 3:08 to go, Las Vegas is going to have to try and play some defense.
You're gonna have to, if they run the ball, you're gonna have one guy hit and the other guy try to strip the football away. Did you see the backup running back? I believe is in. I believe that's the fullback we just saw there, Brock Targanian.
Two backs in the backfield. Reggie Streeter, one of the league's premier backs, will take another handoff, and he fumbles, puts the ball on the turf, and it's a big pile up, but Louisiana comes away with it.
That is the thing that Las Vegas needed right there. As Max Jackson comes up on the hit, forces the fumble, but somehow, and that's the bad luck that Las Vegas has had this game.
Really can't do anything.
Old Snake Eyes there, and didn't come up with the fumble. That could have made it a little bit more interesting.
That will set them up here. 2nd and 7. Streeter still in the game late in this one. Just fumbled. We'll see if they give it to him again here. They will. Right up the gut. Streeter spins off one in another pileup. Is able to fight forward for a couple more.
Yes, as soon as he was feeling contact, both arms were around that football. They didn't want to make another crucial fumble here as we're coming up to the 2-minute warning.
Louisiana in control of this one. Gerald, they benefited off some interceptions in this game, and with 2 minutes to go, they lead 30-10. Louisiana on top of Las Vegas here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Two backs in the backfield in front of Reggie Streeter. Or no, excuse me, the backups are in for Louisiana's offense as well, but still plenty of room for the back. First down yardage there for Nathan Smith.
It doesn't seem like it doesn't matter who's in the backfield for Louisiana. They're just opening holes. You saw the fullback there opening a hole up there, and Nathan Smith just runs right through it. So far, 138 rushing yards for this Louisiana Revolution offense. Just picking apart this Las Vegas Fury defense.
Whiska Lafouche, the backup quarterback, is in. Smith dots the I. They'll give it to him again on the right side. Smith with plenty of room and a block. Smith to the 5. Touchdown, Nathan Smith. A flag on the play might call this one back, but for the moment, Nathan Smith, the hero for the Revolution.
And it's another holding penalty. This time, it's against number 89. The backup tight end, Banky Edwards, basically takes a touchdown off the board for Nathan Smith and this Louisiana Revolution offense. Wow, what a run there for Nathan Smith, but unfortunately, it's all for naught.
Well, he might have just taken some money out of the banky for Nathan Smith, was looking for a contract next season. A touchdown would have helped those stats, but Banky takes it off the board. They'll give to Smith again, and he'll pick up a couple, but it's not the big run that he had a moment ago.
In the second time out here for Las Vegas. Las Vegas is going to be falling to 2-4, while Louisiana improves to 2-4 at the halfway point of the season. Definitely not where either one of these ball clubs wanted to be.
No, but a 1-0 win record here for Louisiana is the best way to be. They played the league's best team, the Denver Nightwings, last week to a very close one-score loss. So, Gerald, you have to feel like Louisiana is turning the tide of their season a little bit and kind of trying to rewrite their story after starting, 1-3.
Yeah, they definitely played Denver really, really tough last game and came out here just with a vengeance and with a fire that I haven't seen in them all year. Just playing absolutely fantastic on both sides of football.
Louisiana, one of the surprise teams last year to make the playoffs, not because they were not expected to be good, but more because that they were one of the newer franchises in the league, had a couple veterans come over, and Reggie Streeter really electrified this Louisiana team, took them to heights that many in the preseason did not expect. And then this season, they were expected to be at those heights and did struggle to get off the rip, Gerald. And they're trying to turn that around in time to make the playoffs. There's a lot of opportunity this season to do so. And at the halfway point, at 2-4, you're definitely not out of it.
Definitely not out of it. 6-6 could get you in these playoffs, so you can just, get those extra 1 or 2 plays that you've missed earlier in the season. You could actually get your ship righted.
Beautiful special teams play there by Lynn Sombre to down this one right inside the 5. So some trouble for the Fury. Going to have to try and get out of the shadow of their own end zone.
It's just everything is clicking. Special teams, another punt inside the 10. I believe the last punt that he had was at the 12. Just an amazing game all around for this Louisiana Revolution team.
Colin Pierce on the out route is collected there. I believe that's John Blades who makes it out to the 10. Colin Pierce, the rookie here, struggling in his first year, but a young Las Vegas team trying to build something that lasts for many seasons, not just this one season, the first one here in season 16 of Colin Pierce's young career. 3 wide, pressure coming, Pierce goes down again.
Another sack by this defense. I believe that was Ross Napoli there with the sack.
Napoli getting in there to make it 4th and 3. Here is Pierce sidearm, and that one is caught, and a late hit on Mason Kirby will result in a couple more yards.
And one of the few mistakes Louisiana has made in this game, but that late hit, there was no reason for that hit made there. I believe that was the starting cornerback, Tank Bennett, who had a great game. A pass deflection and 2 interceptions. Didn't need to do that late hit there. They just got a little over anxious, but either way, it's going to be an extra 15 yards for the Las Vegas Fury offense.
Yeah, might have tripped there too. Bennett has had quite the day, the interceptions, and there's a look at Derek Genko, also had quite the day, 2 sacks for him. This Louisiana defense came to play. They were able to hold the Fury down to only 10 points, and 7 of which came with their backups in, so in reality held them to around 3. Out route here is collected, and that will take us to triple zeros, 30-10. The Louisiana Revolution come in to Las Vegas and knock off this young Fury team in order to grab their 2nd win of the season. Gerald, break it down for us.
You see the stats coming up here. Just a total domination. 436 yards to 245. And that 245 is a little misleading because of that big 64-yard pass to John Blades. All in all, just an absolute demolishing here by the Revolution. Pickler, 19 of 28 for 286. Chase Earl, 6 catches for 134. And I believe your player of the game is going to be Reggie Streeter. 32 carries for $149 in the score, and had 3 catches for 34 yards in the score. Like I said, the big player on defense was Tank Bennett, 8 tackles and 2 INTs, and 2 sacks for Genko. Basically just totally demolished Las Vegas. Colin Pierce scoring 19 of 31 for 203 yards. That big touchdown in the 4th quarter with 3 costly interceptions. Blades of 114 yards with that only touchdown. Scott Johnson, just 15 carries for 27 yards. Just a total annihilation on either side of the football for Louisiana. It comes up with a big win after their loss. And if you're at Las Vegas, you got to worry about it. Your defense here, with Arizona scoring 37 and giving up 30 today. Back-to-back 30-point give up by your defense isn't good.
Plenty of offense, plenty of defense for Louisiana. A team win for the Revolution, and a couple interceptions that potentially could have been more scores if Johnny Pickler hadn't put them into the Fury's hands. For the Fury, plenty to build off of and improve upon. John Blades, a big score, as you guys see now, for late in the game. And your player of the game is indeed Reggie Streeter, over 100 yards. What a performance from him. Well, for Gerald Giudice, our stats team, I'm Andy Hamilton. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. Louisiana Revolution run away with this one. We'll send it back to SFL Studios for analysis and what's next, but right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Going to commercial. All right, you're clear for 4 minutes.
Tell your story.
Three minutes back, 3 minutes.
Welcome to the SFL's post-game update along with Robert Garrett Jr. I'm Cameron Irvine. Robert, a couple of interesting games, but we start with our main game, Mexico City Lone Star, 24-9. This was a game of touchdowns versus field goals, and Lone Star's got to be pretty disappointed because they didn't play as bad as the end stat line would probably tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Lone Star's offense played very explosive, made some big plays. But as you said, just it had a finishing issue in this game. The red zone defense for Mexico City was able to step up and make some big stops, keep Lone Star from scoring a bunch of points as they're used to, and turn around and capitalize off of that on offense for themselves.
Yeah, big win. Half game back of Fort Worth in the division, and the South Division gets interesting, especially with Lone Star now 0-2 in the division. That is brutal. They have one more game with Mexico City, and they play Fort Worth in Week 12. Louisiana is riding the ship. They've won 2 out of the last 3. The one they lost was by 7 points to arguably the best team in the league, Denver. Now 2-4, looking pretty good as they chase St. Louis and Atlanta, and Tulsa, for that matter, in the East Division.
Yeah, the offense for Louisiana looked like they could do no wrong. Johnny Pickler did throw 3 interceptions throughout the course of the game, but didn't matter in the long run. Reggie Streeter, 2 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air, and that big bomb to Chase Earl.
Yeah, for sure. Earl was phenomenal today. Robo had a nice one-hander over the middle. Bennett had a crazy interception off the back of a defender, so Louisiana made plays when it mattered. All right, coming up next here on 11 Sports, this is a huge one in the Atlantic Division between Charleston and Jacksonville, a pair of 3-2 teams chasing Carolina and Florida. Florida also plays in this block. They'll be at Sioux Falls, and we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the day. But this Charleston-Jacksonville game, Robert, the last time these two teams met, it was 17-7. These teams just like to rough it up in between the hash marks. What do you think we're going to see here today?
Yeah, we're going to see Charleston come out with a whole lot of emotion after the heartbreaker they had against Carolina last week. And we're going to see a lot of good passing from the Jacksonville Kings. Christian Christensen leading the league in completions at 173, just doing what he does and throwing the ball all over the field.
Sioux Falls at 0-5. They were the runners-up last season, have played in back-to-back championship games. I know Florida's 4-1, but do you give them any chance, Robert? What do they got to do?
I mean, the defense of Sioux Falls has got to play better to get the win today. Their defense, league low, giving up 106 total first downs through the first portion of the season. They got to figure out something and see if they can get Julian Tyree going as well.
Robert and I will be back at the half, but in Jacksonville, it's going to be Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudice. If you'd like to invest in our Lightspeed flights from Las Vegas to Jacksonville, you're more than welcome to do that, as they are pulling a double today, and they've got the primetime game coming up here. Jacksonville and Charleston coming up after the break. This has been the SFL postgame update. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports.